Start recording. Alright, Aspen Goldvid. What's going on?
Change your profile picture to Clippy. Okay, I'll bite.
I was listening to the Facebook whistleblower hearings with Senator Josh Hawley a few months back.
Yeah.
One of the elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product. And
What?
Damn, bro. They got telemetry on like 14-year-old girls trying to farm them to get them to buy makeup? Because they hate themselves? Jesus.
Bro,
that's impressive.
Wild.
Think about this within the context of what companies used to get in trouble for and what they do, or more importantly, don't get in trouble for today.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s, a time when Microsoft had hell and fury fall down upon them because they bundled a web browser with their operating system.
Oh, I remember
Whether
that.
you think this is a good idea or not, I personally think that a web browser being installed in every single person's computer that's standards non-compliant, that is so bad that you can literally get a virus from visiting a website, has its problems.
Yeah.
But when you look at what it is that companies got in trouble for in the 90s, it just doesn't hit the same when you look at what companies get away with now. I remember having...
That's because now the companies have more ownership and more control over Congress. That's the reason why. Everybody knows it.
Dell Dimension.
He's right.
He's completely right. Like, these fucking companies are being lobbied to fucking do these types of shits. To allow these things to just continue to happen.
33 back in the day, and if you wanted to get the one that had slightly better graphics, they would give you a free installation of Microsoft Office. And with Microsoft Office back in the day, it came with Clippy. Whether or not you like Clippy and whether or not you liked Microsoft Office or having an operating system that had the browser built into it that could easily get you a virus when you visited other websites that were trying to invade your privacy, the one thing that you could say, unlike Facebook, who is trying to profit off of young girls that feel suicidal, Clippy simply wanted to help. He might have been annoying, but he just wanted to help. There were no ulterior motives. If you told Clippy that you were having a bad day, he wasn't going to use that information to try and figure out which advertiser to sell you to, nor was he trying to steal your personal data or get you to purchase.
That's what AI is going to do next, by the
I don't know what the fuck Clippy is.
way. Is that once AI and conversations with AI become commonplace, people are going to look towards advertising towards your AI conversations. So, like, you'll be talking to, like, Annie from Grok, and you're going to be talking to her about how, like, you really like turtles, and she's going to say, wow, that's amazing. You're going to go to Amazon. Guess what you're going to get ads for? That's right, turtles. Yep.
I mean, that already happens. Like, bro, I swear Google can listen to me. Like, bro. I can say something about, I need to find new toys for my dog. Which I kind of do. And Google, in the next couple hours, I'm going to see some random fucking ad for dog toys or pet toys. It happens already. It's fucking weird and it's just fucking weird.
Other Microsoft products. He had no ulterior motives. He was simply there to help. Unlike many modern pieces of software, like what you get from Adobe or Intuit.
I watched a video about, like, marriage, and then I started talking about marriage. Or a video that talked about marriage and wedding rings and shit, and how that's a bad thing. And I started talking about, like, bro, wedding rings are fucking expensive. I got wedding ring fucking ads on YouTube. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, you can't buy QuickBooks anymore. You can't buy a video editor anymore. You have to pay a subscription fee for it. If I were to boot up that computer that has not been used for 28 years and I wanted to start up Microsoft Word,
I think that they need to stop that wholesale. The idea that services to, like, being able to use a program, like, you shouldn't be able, like, you can't own the program at all. I find that to be very problematic.
Me too.
Like, I think if you buy a program and you buy to have access to it, you should have access to at least that version of the program indefinitely.
Yes.
I don't understand how people have allowed them to reinvent these rules. It's insane.
Do so without connecting to the internet.
Yeah, look at Photoshop. like, how much money do you have to fucking put into that shit just to be able to start using Photoshop? You're not gonna use any of the other fucking things, like, Illustrator or whatever the fuck the other one is. Animate. But you have to buy the whole fucking package, and it's a monthly subscription type of thing.
And Clippy would still be there,
Or
happy
yearly.
and enthusiastic as ever, simply wanting to help. Adobe is another example of this. This is a company that tried to twist people's arms into having
Adobe.
AI and machine learning stuff go through their personal data. Not public data, not the speeches that I give, not my website or my blog posts or my videos, but my private data, the stuff that I'm editing. And there were people that were not able to get into their account until they agreed to this new end user license agreement. When they are looking for access to your data, they're doing so because they want to train an AI on how to do what you do without paying you, without your consent. Clippy simply wanted to help. When Clippy would ask you if you wanted help with writing your letter,
Clippy would not try to sell you anything. No, this is true.
Even read the contents of your letter.
Yeah.
He just wanted to offer suggestions. Game of Thrones had, I'm not going to spoiler alert, there's this Sons of the Heartbeat in season 5. They were these people that wore masks, and they pushed back against the new regime. And the purpose of the mask was to let the leaders know that when you see people with this mask, we are against you and your new regime, and we are going to push back against it as often as we can. And the worry with the Sons of the Heartbeat mask is that it starts with one person putting the mask on, and then somebody else gains the balls to put the mask on. And then 20 or 40 or 100 of them put the mask on. And once 100 or 1,000 of them put the mask on, there's nothing that the leaders can do at that point. Enough people have put it on, and enough people have come together with solidarity, and they're going to do something about it. Now, granted, this may not be the best analogy, because it was, spoiler alert, they were trying to bring back slavery, and they also were just, Khaleesi kind of became a shitbag.
Well, they have that now. I mean, we have the same thing in real life. It's just that the masks are white.
Besides, I think that Clippy is like a modern-day Sons of the Harpy mask. If you're tired of companies changing the terms of the sale after the sale and getting away with it, turn your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of companies that have the ability to reach into your house and ransomware your products so that they stop working unless you pay them again, claiming that that's legal, but then when somebody tries to give you back access to what you bought and paid for, that's illegal, change your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of sex bots invading the comment section on a regular basis, and their comments always posting with no problem, but your comments being censored even when you're not saying anything that bad, change your profile picture to a Clippy. If Google, being one of the premier data mining companies on Earth, not being able to tell that little fucking cat with 2 pillows next to it that they try to make look like an ass so that thirsty young men click it as they normalize sex trafficking on the platform that doesn't allow you to express an opinion bothers you,
Jesus Christ. He's mad.
change your profile picture to a Clippy and let them know that you're not happy.
Oddly
Clippy never
specific.
tried to normalize sex trafficking. He just wanted to help. If you're tired of companies saying out loud that the reason they want to keep you from fixing what you bought and paid for is that may take money away from them, change your profile photo to a Clippy. I never expected to win the legislative battle. It would be nice if I did, but it was never something that I set as I need to do this or I'm a failure.
I think that you can easily win it. The problem right now is that there's too many people that are technology illiterate that are in the government. As soon as you have enough people that are technology literate in the government, this problem disappears.
Always hoped to do was win the cultural battle, where all of you understand what's going on and you decide.
What I'm saying is we have a bunch of old retarded people that are running the government and they can't figure out how to use computers.
They don't know what the fuck computers are. Bro, Trump's like, it's all computer when talking about Teslas, bro. Tesla with an R. It's like, they're retarded when it comes to this type of stuff. And bro, I like Trump as much as the next guy, but like, he's an idiot when it comes to fucking technology.
That enough is enough. If I ever have a chance in my personal life to push back against this, I will. You're maybe not going to send that email that you're supposed to send to Intersil to tell them, oh, by the way, make sure this chip doesn't end up on Mouser.com. Here's an NDA, blah, 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 supplier agreement. Maybe you just forget to send that email. When there's a new consumer rights law that the senator that you work for is on the fence about supporting, and there's a lobbyist that's going to be against it that wants to have dinner. Whoops. Maybe their invitation went to spam. I didn't see that. Sorry, boss. Maybe you quit before you create a fake paywall to test if your customers will pay again for what they already paid for. Or maybe when you send out that ransomware firmware update, you make it opt-in instead of opt-out. Whoopsie, if in some bizarro world it is actually illegal to make a thermostat work again, and this bastard of a CEO decides to try and get the individual in trouble, 10 cases to prosecute, only got time for 6. Maybe I just ignore this one. When a company CEO logs into their Slack and sees...
It's illegal to do anything to your house without a permit, which I think is retarded. You own the house. You should be allowed to make it as dangerous as you want. It's your own house. You shouldn't be allowed to sell it without having an actual, without it being, what's it called? Without it being reviewed by someone to say, yes, this house is not dangerous, and it's good to sell. Hell, I would even go as far as saying that if you can't have your house checked by someone like that because it costs money, you should still be allowed to sell the house. Because you, then in the papers, it's going to be like, hey, this house is not checked for anything. Like, you are buying something potentially dangerous to live in. I think you should be allowed to do that.
10,000 Clippies looking back at them. What I hope occurs is that they intuitively understand...
Well, what they're going to have to do is if they see 10,000 Clippies, they're going to have to send everybody in for sensitivity training, and the fact that, you know, back when they had Clippy is very male-coded. This is something that is exclusionary towards women, and it is sexist, and it's also racist because it is maybe white-coded as well, and so you have to change your profile picture, or you're going to have to be spoken to by HR for promoting.
Clippy sounds like some sort of fucking AI. Like the first fucking LLM, or LLC, or whatever the fuck they're called. What is Clippy? A Clippy is a common nickname for Clip-It, an animated paperclip character that served as the office assistant in Microsoft Office software from 1997 to 2003, officially named Clip-It. The character was designed to provide contextual help and tips for using applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, by appearing uninvited to offer assistance, such as suggesting help when a user typed dear. Despite its intention to make complex software more approachable, Clippy became widely reviled for being intrusive and annoying, often repeating unsolicited advice. The character was eventually turned off by default in the Office XP and fully removed in Office 2007. Concept originated from a research suggestion people react to computer on social actors, leading Microsoft to introduce a human-like interface, though this approach was criticized as a tragic misunderstanding of the research. Clippy has since become a nostalgic icon symbol for early AI missteps. So it was like an early LLM. Interesting. Keep that there. I'll keep that there for other...
Racism and sexism in the workplace, and we all know where that goes. That's what would happen.
Stand that they no longer live in a world where they can get away with fucking over the consumer. That their employees, their partners are not going to be accomplices to this anymore. That they are alert and they are aware of what is going on.
I wish that this is what would happen, but at the end of the day, the only way you can really solve this is with legislation, because even if you stop it with American companies, you're still going to have cross-cultural companies that will do business in a way that's, you know, like bad. The thing is that, you know, for as much as you want to criticize his advocacy of this, he does practice what he preaches for the most part, right? I mean, he is an advocate for a lot of these things himself.
But firmly push back against it. Every single one of those 10,000 people will be an obstacle to the anti-consumer practices and the anti-ownership practices, and it will no longer be another cog in the assembly line sending us all into a dystopia. There will be a moment where that one person who usually would not have a say in anything can be activated, and in that moment, keep the world from sliding further into a dystopia, or help push it forward in the opposite direction. But we all have to get together, and the first step is making it public that we know what's going on. That starts with a Clippy. On YouTube, if you're with me, I ask that you change your profile picture to a Clippy. At work, change your Slack profile picture to a Clippy. If you work at the White House, don't take down the United States flag, but somewhere on the grounds, put up a flag of a Clippy. Clippy's a symbol that what used to be considered one of the worst annoyances in our life would now not only be
it actually is really weird. Like this juxtaposition is actually very good. That Clippy, because when Clippy came out, everybody hated Clippy. People were so annoyed by Clippy. But now Clippy is the pleasant alternative to the world that we're living in at this point. That's a very good. Yeah, he's right about that.
But for all of his flaws, celebrated as an idol. Because for all of these things that occur right now where there is negative malice of intent, I want to take away what you own. I want to take this back. I want to get your data. I want to sell you to an advertiser when I know that you're crying. Clippy just wanted to help. And if you were to turn him on today, unlike most cloud bullshit, he'd still work. Hulu Foundation is going to be announcing the winners to both the Future Home Bounty and the Echelon Bikes Bounty within the next month. Us offering $5,000 here, $20,000 there. It pushes the ball forward. But at the end of the day, that does nothing in contrast to organizing all of you. We're happy to get the ball rolling, but for us to truly win, we need to show that if you push us, Clippy clips back. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all.
I'm not going to change my profile pic to Clippy. I'm sorry, I like my profile pic
in the next video.
But I do agree with it.
Also have the duty not to infringe the IP rights in the process. It is in fact the manufacturers who have the relevant rights, not consumers.
It's the manufacturers that do. Nope, we just take it away. That's the thing. You thought you had the right? Well, we changed the rules. Now you don't. Yeah. It's that simple. And that's really all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Make it illegal.
Everybody goes and they start thinking about the way that it is. You never think about the way that it is. And to be fair, you know, you could go and criticize the guy, but he did change his own profile picture.
Damn.
He did. And like, you know, you wouldn't know if that was going to happen.
That's dedication. That's dedication right there.
Right? Because, like, I always think somebody says, oh, everybody needs to do this, and then they don't do it. Well, you know, it's one of those things. But you got this going on. Well, that's a certainly different situation.
Yeah, that's straight up dedication right there. Down.